So this is a summary of a negligence case here in Carmel regarding an assisted living facility. A lot of us are of the age where our parents are in assisted living, or maybe you have other relatives that are in an assisted living facility. So it's going to be very relevant to you. And what happened in this case was factually very simple. Lady was going to lunch. She was down in the dining area. She used a walker. A lot of elderly people and others that have trouble walking use a walker. My dad does too. And we help him around quite a bit, but he doesn't always need it. But, you know, this lady did. And she was using her walker in the lunchroom, and one of the employees of the assisted living facility bumped into her, or bumped into a table. The table fell on the walker fell, causing her to crash to the ground. She gets hurt and has personal injuries. So it's kind of like a domino effect of things going bad. And again, not an intentional act, but that's what negligence is: failure to use standard of reasonable care in your actions, and that causes a damage or a harm to another person. And the case came down because the plaintiff, two things I'll tell you. First of all, the plaintiff sued both the employee that knocked the table and knocked over her walker, so there was that defendant, and then they also sued the owner of the property that was operating the business there. And at some point, the employee was dismissed out of the lawsuit. I don't know why. It doesn't say here in the summary that we've got, but for whatever reason, the actual employee that did the knocking over, that employee was dismissed from the case, and they were proceeding only against the owner of the property. And so the owner said, wait a second, we're not liable, since you're not even trying to sue the employee. We're not liable on this theory of what's called respondeat superior, which means the owner is liable for the actions of their employees and agents and whatnot. And the court then found, no, just because they were dismissed as a defendant doesn't mean that maybe that you are liable for them, because it's an agreed fact that this person was an employee at the time of the incident, and the employee was acting within the scope of her employment, and therefore you are liable for whatever they did. Now, I want to make a quick point there, that if the employee was doing something that they were not authorized to do, or they were not acting within the scope of their employment, then maybe this case would have gone a different way. But they were doing exactly what they were supposed to. They were on duty. They were doing whatever their job description was. And so by the fact that they were within the scope of employment, then respondeat superior goes and holds the owner of the property liable. Now, they haven't decided that they really are liable yet. They're just saying it's a material issue of genuine fact, and therefore summary judgment was inappropriate. So the case is going to go to trial eventually, or perhaps get settled now that we've resolved the legal issue. I do want to raise a second claim, or second legal matter that came up in this case, because it does happen quite a bit. And this is the fact that the lady who was injured actually died later on, and then the lawsuit started. So the lady that passed away and who was injured really wasn't doing the lawsuit. It was her estate. And this happens quite a bit, that if you're injured in an accident, or there's some other type of claim that you have, but you die before the claim is resolved or through litigation, your estate can still go forward and file a lawsuit on your behalf and continue on just like they did in this case. So the personal representative is actually the one on behalf of the estate filing the lawsuit on behalf of their loved one who had passed away. Now, it's certainly not in the fact pattern that the lady died as part of her injuries. It seems like a separate issue, that she just passed away for other natural causes, not because of her walker getting knocked over. It's not a wrongful death type of claim. It's just basic injuries from the fall. So a lot of things to unpack there. I'd be happy to help you with those. Premises liability things are very important. And now you know the issues about respondeat superior. Hope you enjoyed that, and we look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.